Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds. I'm Ted, hanging out with the crew here.
Dave.
Nate.
And today we're going to bring you another exciting edition of MageForge. And, I'm a huge dice fanatic. I've got a little collection. So let's MageForge up some dice.
So we talked a little bit about this, not much, and we came up with two names.
So I was saying, let's make the dice of fate.
And I was like, dice that have something to do with prophecy or something, or random chances not being random. And I forget that. I say cheaty dice.
Cheaty dice.
Where my idea is you roll the dice when you want them to be what you want them to be, maybe some charges per day or whatever, then there are that. But then every other time, they can just be a regular die. So no one can ever catch you cheating.
So when you roll them, and you want them to be cheater dice, they are.
Yeah, they're whatever number you want to roll is the number that's going to roll.
But you have to know how it works, right?
Well, yeah.
So if somebody else just picks them up,
you attune to it. Yeah, you
gotta
attune to it.
So it requires attunement. That's the perfect part of the element. So if you're not attuned to them and you roll them, they're just
regular dice.
Okay.
So are you going with they automatically just win, or like when you gamble you have advantage?
No, when you wanna no. Like when you roll it and you expend a charge, it's whatever die roll you want it to be. It is not the advantage. There's no chance in it. You are absolutely cheating.
You want to roll a 7 and a 4 and a 3 are coming up because you say so. You want to roll a 6 and a 1. That's what happens.
You want to cheat and actually lose on purpose. You can cheat and lose on purpose rather than leave it to chance. I mean, there's a chance like everyone's getting suspicion. You're like, all right, I gotta lose this roll. And you're like, oh no, I didn't.
7.
I'm so happy that I won again, though I wanted to lose, so you guys don't beat me up in the alleyway.
So
if you're saying it requires attunement,
it needs to do more.
It's got to be a little bit better.
Well, yeah, because right now it's just a way to get infinite wealth over time. And that's
so.
Not as
what
good.
about as we did with
You can't
our
call a monster with infinite wealth.
You can't. I don't know. Isn't it a superpower?
I'm going to kill this
Best
dragon by
superpower
choking
ever.
it with gold pieces.
Yeah. You want some gold, dragon?
So, all right, as we did on the terrible terrain, what if we combine, the cheating dice of fate?
Cheating fate of dice.
Fate's cheater dice. Something.
It could just be called cheating fate because they're obviously freaking dice.
Cheating fate. Yeah, that. I like that.
So what else does it do? Obviously, we're gonna have charges that'll allow you to use it to essentially cheat.
But I don't think you should do charges for the cheat. I think that's just like its power.
I'm thinking if we're going to make it
because it's kind of minor.
I think if we're going to make it spiffier, you just you can always decide.
If you cheat too much, eventually you're going to get caught and get beat up in the alleyway.
Or someone will steal your dice.
Or
then they'll figure out the awesome secret.
So, what is the fate element?
I would almost want a table of, so it's a pair of dice, right? So I'd almost want a table that goes from 2 to 12 and just have some random stuff on there.
I like it. And when you go ahead.
Well, this is where the charges would come in. I mean, it's all going to be kind of good stuff in a sense, but it's like you throw the dice and you see how they help you.
Okay. So obviously we're not going to go and make a full chart here, but like what type of things?
Well, fast and dirty, right? Maybe a certain thing gives you grants you advantage on the next roll you choose. Maybe one of them grants an enemy disadvantage on the next roll that you choose. Maybe one of them is grant an ally advantage on their next roll. So like right there, that's 3 right off the bat.
Right.
Maybe one of them is grant you and all your allies advantage it could be the next roll or a specific roll.
Or turning a disadvantage into advantage.
It will give you all of you advantage on the next group saving throw you have to make. So I would say obviously 7 is your key number, with 2 and 12 being the most rare. So I would pare it down to your 7 is
give everyone you want within 30 feet advantage.
And I would say that's going to be your weakest thing is 7, and then it pairs up
Okay.
in both power, because of it becomes more
Well,
rare.
so the two most powerful, I would go with all allies in either 30 feet, 60 feet. Figure it out. Get advantage on the next roll they choose.
Okay.
You could pare down from that and go all allies within the same range get advantage on their next roll. And then you could do the same thing. All enemies disadvantage on a roll you choose. Then you can pare down next, and then all enemies disadvantage on the next roll they make. So right there, that would be 4. And then we also said, like, if you did, like, the specifics, pick a person,
Right.
either enemy, foe, or friend. That would be like another 2 right there. So what is that, 6?
Right.
And if it's you, then that's also another. That's another one. So that's 7. And so you just figure out how many combinations.
So we don't want to do everything of just advantage and disadvantage.
Well, that's what I was also thinking. Like, that's not
so
as
that-
nearly as interesting, but there are just some ideas real fast.
Okay. So let's move away from that and allow our lovely watchers to be able to add some suggestions to it. So let's move into where they came from. Who made the dice and why.
It's got to be a halfling. Only a halfling would make these
The
dice.
halfling diviner with the lucky feet.
Yeah, I think so.
The luckiest half man alive.
Oh, yeah.
And he
I'd say
may
luckiest
be owner of a spell jamming ship.
Yeah, I
So-
think that's good.
Do we want to actually say that your dude made these?
Sure, yeah. I'm down with that.
Somehow whilst spell jamming, they've gone through and found their way into the Chimes of Discordia.
Yeah, definitely. That'll
Cool.
work out.
Well, maybe that's kind of part of the dice too. Maybe they don't stay with one person. Like, they always kind of like move on.
Yeah. Because basically it's not a sure thing in a sense. There's
Well,
going to eventually where you lose them.
How about, like, as cheater dice, they always do that. When you get them, they have 2d6 charges. When you've used the charges for any effect off of that thing, they tumble somewhere else. They literally spell jam or whatever you want to call it.
Well, I like the idea of it still being that part being kind of random. So, like, if you use all the charges for the day, where some magic items like disintegrate if you roll a natural 1, well, instead these don't disintegrate; they just move on.
So if you're saying you roll the snake eyes, they're gone.
Well, yeah, that could be something. Well, I don't know if I'd want to put it on the chart, but I'm saying if, like, you use the.
No, I think you mean if you used all the charges. Let's say there's like however many charges per day.
Okay.
And you use them all.
They refresh the next day, but you make a die 20 roll on a lot of magic items and find out if it just turns to dust or not.
Okay.
Yeah, and on the one
so
they
in
would
this,
just skip down.
all right.
Yeah.
So if you use the last charge, you roll a d20. On the roll of a 1, they're gone. Okay.
Yes, you no longer have access to them. They've moved.
Cool. So I think that that covers it. Like I said, we can have you guys give us some suggestions of what do you think should be on the was it
Cheating fate.
cheating fate. Help us make the chart. While
Might be an interesting one to put on nerdarchy.com.
Yeah, I think so.
An article on it.
So what do you guys think? Go ahead and put your comments down below. While you're doing that, feel free to click like, share, even subscribe.
You can come hang out with us over on the Facebooks.
You can also join the conversation over on Reddit.
So until next time,
Stay nerdy.